Good afternoon. Happy New Year. This is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel as I continue on my part series, The Week That Was College Football History Review, the 1972 college football season. This is week 7 of the games I played on October 21st, 1972. Let's get into it. Duke beat Maryland by a score of 20-14. Completely dominating opening 30 minutes, Duke sent quarterback Mark Johnson dashing for 100 yards of Devils 178 yards rushing in the first half. They won 20-0. Johnson's big play came in the second quarter on a 68-yard option run on which he broke 4 tackles. Meanwhile, Maryland's defense, which hadn't allowed a single point in the previous 10 quarters, awoke in the second half, while sophomore quarterback Bob Avellini set new school game passing yard mark in his first starting assignment. Now, in Frank Russell, who had 113 yards on 4 catches, caught a 76-yard catch from Avellini, while tailback Lewis Carter carried home 28 yards touchdown in the fourth quarter. Now, Avellini threw well, but was dismayed to have tossed intercepts to Duke defensive backs Ronnie Hoots at 3-yard line and Ben Fordham at goal line. Duke tailback Steve Jones gained 92 yards and scored on a 6-yard run. All right, Clemson beat Virginia 37-21. Tigers ran lopsided series record to 14-0 as quarterback Ken Pingertor opened scoring with 5-yard scoring keeper and hooked up with wide receiver Dennis Goss on a 60-yard scoring pass. After 15 minutes, Clemson had already topped the point total of any of its previous 5 games. Now, lead was up to 24-0 at halftime as Clemson kicker Eddie Siegler kicked first of 3 field goals and fullback Heidi Davis scored on a 1-yard run. Meanwhile, the Cavaliers closed the deficit at 24-14 in the third quarter as quarterback George Allen Jr., the son of Regison's coach, threw a 14-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Dave Sullivan and scored on a 1-yard keeper. Meanwhile, self-destructive Virginia had 6 turnovers. Next, Alabama, number 3 team in the country, beat number 10 Tennessee in about 2 top 10 teams. 17-10. Number 3 Crimson Tide thwarted brilliant Tennessee defense by scoring 2 touchdowns within 36 seconds in game's final 2 minutes after Alabama scored on halfback Wilbur Jackson's 2-yard plunge. Coach Bill Bryant went for tying extra point. Whatever controversy might have been laid in Bryant's lap was erased when Volunteers quickly lost fumble by quarterback Condridge Holloway to tie defensive tackle John Mitchell at own 22-yard line. The Tide of Alabama quarterback Terry Davis then faked both handoff and pitch out before scampering 22 yards to lock it up. Now, the Volunteers defense of Tennessee was led by defensive tackle Carl Johnson and linebacker Art Reynolds, held Tide's vaunted rushing attack to 135 yards and set up both their scores with fumble recoveries. Next, Florida beat Mississippi 16-0. Florida coach Doug Dickey knew shutout Rebels was possible because his 1968 Tennessee squad was last to blank Ole Miss. So with aggressive defense that was led by defensive end Preston Kendrick, who had 12 tackles and 6 sacks, Gators allowed only 50 yards rushing and 78 yards passing, while Florida offense ate up the clock with 252 yards. Halfback Nat Moore had most spectacular play with nifty 46-yard scoring run for clinching fourth quarter touchdown that closed the score. Ole Miss poor play began at get-go as 2 fumbles by fullback Paul Hofer were turned into 10 early points. Unable to move the ball, the Rebels could not rally. Next, Minnesota beat Iowa 43-14. Missouri upset number 8 Notre Dame 30-26. Just weeks after losing 62-0 to Nebraska, Missouri Tigers shocked Notre Dame, scoring all 3 of their touchdowns on fourth down plays. The Irish rallied with 2 fourth quarter touchdowns, but was stopped on the final drive by the interception. Game proved surprisingly wide open in the first half as neither team punted. Missouri took 21-14 lead at halftime as tailback Leroy Moss rushed in a 16-yard touchdown. And fullback Don Johnson cashed his twice from short range. Notre Dame drove 66 yards and 81 yards for first half touchdowns, but soon found Rain's slick ball hard to hold as Missouri converted 2 turnovers into 2 field goals in the second half for 30-14 lead. Sophomore quarterback Tom Clements led Fighting Irish to 2 late touchdowns, including his 13-yard touchdown run. He rushed for a team-high 94 yards. The Tigers had 0 turnovers in the slot, Notre Dame 5. Colorado, the number 9 team in the country, upset number 2 Oklahoma by a score of 20-14. The Sooners looked nothing like a juggernaut on offense, cracking the 40-yard line of Colorado just twice. Buffaloes enjoyed a brilliant 43-yard touchdown run down the sideline by tailback Gary Campbell, the first touchdown surrendered by Sooners to date this season. A nifty 6-yard touchdown catch by wingback John Keyworth in taking a 14-7 third quarter lead. And after kicker Fred Lima added 2 fourth-quarter field goals for Buffs, Sooners marched to their final score on a 10-yard scoring pass from quarterback Dave Robertson to halfback Greg Pruitt. Colorado held Sooners to 238 yards while forcing 4 turnovers. Colorado defensive back Cullen Bryant made interception at OU 18-yard line of pass forced by halfback punter Joe Wiley, who was desperate after the bad punt snap. So Colorado, the number 9 team in the country, beat number 2 Oklahoma. Next, Texas, the number 14 team in the country, beat Arkansas by a score of. Arkansas was number 17 in the country. This is about 2 top 20 team. Number 14 number 14 Texas beat number 17 Arkansas 35-15 as Texas broke from its slump from 28-point second half. Texas broke from its slump with 28-point second half. Quarterback Allen Lowry had 156 yards rushing on 22 carries, had 2 scoring keepers within 92 seconds. Now, turning the 9-7 deficit into a 21-9 lead early in the fourth quarter after Lowry capped a 51-yard drive with 6-yard scoring run. Now, 2 Arkansas backs failed to cover ensuing kickoff as Texas halfback Tommy Landry bounced on loose ball on Hogg's 26-yard line to set up Lowry's 1-yard touchdown run for a 12-point lead as fullback Roosevelt Leaks joined Lowry as Texas rushing star with 154 yards and 2 touchdowns as run attack totaled 394 yards. Razorbacks inadvertently helped by playing only 10 men on 2 Longhorn touchdowns after the game got out of hand. The Pokers quarterback Joe Ferguson capped the 80-yard drive with 5-yard scoring pass to wingback Mike Repon. Next, Navy upset number 16 Air Force. Navy beat number 16 Air Force 21-17. Now, sub-quarterback Alan Glennie entered the game with midshipmen trailing 10-0 and spearheaded upset. Winning 80-yard touchdown drive was capped by running back Dan Howard's 5-yard run with 31 seconds left to play. Falcons had grabbed 17-14 lead with 6:36 left on 60-yard scoring pass. Quarterback Rich Haney to wide receiver Bob Farr. Haney passed for 72 yards, but was picked off 3 times. While Navy did its damage with 271 yards rushing. And finally, Oregon beat Stanford 15-13. Stanford was number 13 team in the country. They was upset by Oregon 15-13. Upset-minded Ducks built a 15-0 lead at halftime on an 85-yard touchdown scamper by tailback Don Reynolds and 3 field goals that was kicked and made by sub-kicker Hugh Woodward. Quarterback Dan Fouts threw for 158 yards while steering the Ducks' attack. The Cardinals crammed their 3 scores in the third quarter, but also was halted in third quarter by 2 interceptions. Now, Stanford kicker Brad Garcia missed 4 field goals, including a potential game winner in the fourth quarter, where he hit a school record 54-yard field goal. Cardinals quarterback Mike Borilla suffered 4 interceptions. Now, Oregon freshman safety Mario Clark had 2 interceptions, including nail-in coffin interception at the Oregon 26-yard line with 35 seconds left. And classmate linebacker Bobby Green had 2 of the Ducks' 6 sacks. So that includes a look at Week 7 for the games that were played on October 21st, 1972. The week that was college football history review, the 1972 college football season. Let's look at the October 23rd AP poll. You're going to start with, there was a three-way tie for the number 18 spot. Arkansas, Southern Methodist, and West Virginia. After that, you had 17, Florida State. Number 16 was Arizona State. 15, Iowa State. 14, Tennessee. 13, Notre Dame. 12, Auburn. Number 11 was Tennessee. Number 11 was Penn State. Texas was number 10. Number 9 was UCLA. 8, Oklahoma. 7, Colorado. Number 6 was Louisiana State. The top 5 AP poll looked like this. Number 5, Michigan. 4 was Ohio State. 3 was Nebraska. 2 was Alabama. And number 1, Southern California. So that concludes look at week number 7 for October 21st, 1972, the week that was college football history review, the 1972 college football season, week 7 for the games that were played on October 21st, 1972. 1972 college football season, college football history review, the week that was. Please like and subscribe and comment on the channel. Do a video of this magnitude tomorrow. Until then, talk to you soon.